What it do, YouTube? MJ for Life here, back again, bringing you another Mortal Kombat X video. This time it's going to be a tutorial on Tanya, and more specifically the Dragon Naginata variation. Now, Tanya is a very technical character that takes some skill to use effectively, I believe. It's not a character that you can play well if you want to just spam teleports and things like that. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that, and I'm going to start with her basic normals. First is her neutral 1. It's an 8-frame startup. It's safe on block. Very good to move to just throw out there. As well as her down 1. Very good. Her fastest poke, 7 frames. You should use this often to check your opponent and hit them out of the things they do. After your plus frame block strings, which she has a couple, throw that out to check them. Another good neutral move that she has is her neutral 2. Now this move isn't necessarily something you want to be throwing out, but it is good to hit off of her EX drill to connect and continue the combo, as you can see right there. So that's a move that's when you'll use that most often. Now her down 2, I think it's a 7 or 8 frame down 2, very good. As you know, down 2s are very strong in this game in general, and hers is very fast, so that makes it even better. Then her forward 2 has great range. It's cancelable into all of her specials. This is something you want to spam often. Use this move. It's safe on block as well, so you don't lose anything from going for it. And as you can see, it has very good range on it. Another move that I forgot to mention earlier was her back 1. This also has good range. Not the same range as the forward 2, but back 1 is actually +2 on block. As I mentioned, she has plus frames on a couple of moves. As you can see, it doesn't have the same type of range, but it still has some good range. So footsies are very important with Tanya, with her, especially in this variation. Footsies are very important. And she also has a back 2, which has amazing range. Certain characters can't punish it at all. Certain characters can only punish it from close distance, and certain characters can punish it wherever she throws it out. So Takeda is a character, one of those characters who cannot punish it at all. Up close, far away, doesn't matter. Max distance, he's just too slow to be able to punish it with any of his special moves. Now, Raiden is a character who can punish it all the time, anytime, no matter what. The next thing I'm going to talk about is her neutral 1. It's not a move that you are normally going to throw out there in a neutral game. It's mainly because of her combo. Her 1-2 combo is extremely good. Probably one of her best combos. That's why you use it. Now her back 1, it's a decent move. It's 13 frames, pretty fast, but it has very low range. So it doesn't have the best range, but it's still a good poke overall because it's a low starter for her, and it's 13 frames. On her other good poke, one of her best low pokes is her down 4. As you can see, like just reel backwards after they get hit by it. And there's a frame trap actually with her down 4 because it's +23 on hit. So what you can do is go for her down 4 and then go for her back 3 because it's that's a 24 frame startup. But if you do it, you'll actually whiff because you have to move forward a little bit after you hit them. Because if you don't, you'll actually whiff it. So what you want to do is move forward a little bit after you connect it down 4, and then you'll be able to connect it down the back 1 for a frame trap. Now what I'm going to do is go over her jump-in moves that you're going to be using. Her jump-in moves are are okay, I guess. There are 2 that you really want to use all the time, and that's going to be her jump-in 1. Which is very active. It has like a downward motion, so you can hit them in mid-air and they'll still catch them, and then her jump in 2 as well. And both of these moves combo into her mid-air teleport, so that's the main reason why you want to be spamming these moves. Now her neutral jump punch doesn't have the best range. It's okay, but it is good to continue her combos, and her neutral jump kick is something you don't really want to use, but it does have good range on it as far as a neutral jump kick goes. Now, the next thing that I want to do is go into her combos. As you can see, her 1-1-4, very good combo, 8-frame startup. It's plus on block, so you can spam this out and be safe. And it's a very fast combo. And then she's got her back 2, 1. Her back 3, 1-2. Sorry, her back 3, 1-2. That move is actually plus on block. It's +2 on block. So if they block it, they're +2. However, this move can be armored out of, and every character can armor just right out of that move. So it's not something you want to spam. Instead of going for her back 3, 1-2, you want to go for her back 2. This ends in an overhead. It's 2 quick hits. So it actually can blow up armor, and there's actually no gap in between those 2 moves. Another good poke is her 2-4. This is again off of the EX drill, is something you want to go for. Then her 1-2, her highest damaging combo. It's also +1 on block. Again, she has a lot of plus frames on block, and that's another combo that you're going to be using to end your combos with to juggle them. But she's also good to just throw out. Again, it's plus on block, so you really don't lose anything from it. So now I'm going to go into her special moves. Her down back 4 is her overhead. Her back forward 4 is her low. Now Tanya is interesting because off of any block stream, she can end with a mix-up. So if they're blocking high, off any block stream, you can go for the overhead, or you can go for the low and mix them up that way. So so anytime they're blocking, they're going to have to guess whether you're going to go for the overhead or the low. Now the issue with this is that both of those moves are extremely minus on block, and they're full combo punishable. So I would not recommend throwing these out there just willy-nilly, simply because if you guess wrong, you're gonna eat 37%. So you just use it every once in a while just to check them. It's just a checking thing, not something that should be your main form of offense. Now she's got various teleports: down back 3, down forward 3, and then she also do those in the air, which adds to her mobility. Probably one of the most mobile characters in the game. And she also has mid-air down back 4 and down forward 4 and down back 4. The down back 4 is a low, and the down forward is an overhead. She's also got her dragon stance, the down 2 in the mid-air. Obviously her variations, key move, and she can jump forward, she can jump backwards, she can do a neutral jump out of that, and she can also teleport out of that, and then go back into stuff. So as long as the pole hits the ground, it's almost like she's touching the ground, so she can jump again, teleport, all the shenanigans she can do, and this is what the variation is all about. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys some of her bread and butter combos. And these are things, this first combo is something that is your main bread and butter. This is something that you want to hit confirm. And that's her down 2, forward 2, down 2, forward 2, into neutral, or down 2, regular 2, neutral jump punch, into 3, 4, down back 4. Now there's another way to do this, which is the crossover punch. You do forward 2 instead of a neutral 2, and then you do a crossover punch. And I'm going to show you guys this. This is what people like to do on YouTube. This is actually showing you that you can actually combo the down 2 off her forward 4. The timing is a bit strict because if you're a split second late, it won't actually combo and they can block it. But that was just showing you guys that you can actually combo it out of the forward 4, and that's your main bread and butter. The forward 4 into the down 2, or just a raw down 2 into a 30% combo. That's what you want to hit confirm every single time. Now you can also do a crossover punch into it. The timing is a lot stricter, and as you can see, it does the same amount of damage. So for me personally, I would rather have something that I can do 100% of the time, over something that I can do 75% of the time. So just go for the neutral jump punch version. And because it does the same amount of damage, so you're not losing any damage, and it's a lot easier to hit, especially online with all the lag. So now here's a combo off of her EX teleport. It's a double teleport combo. As you can see, it does 29%. Now there's another way to do this combo. Again, I'm all about stuff that's easy to do. So I'm going to show that again. Now this is a combo that a lot of people like to use. I know, I get it. It's sexy. You've got double teleports in the air, stuff like that. Now here's a much easier version of that combo, which is just going for a neutral jump punch into the kick. Now that does 2% less damage. However, when we add combo scaling into it, as you do, I'm going to add the forward 4. As you can see now, it does 33%. Okay, now I'm going to show you again now the easy version of this combo. Same thing. Same combo basically, and it does 1% less. So to me, an extra execution is not worth an extra 1%. So to me, just make it easier on yourselves. Don't drop a combo. It's only 1% more, so just go for that. It's a lot easier to do. So now there's really so off her EX drill. I really don't like using her meter for combos like this. In any way. There's one instance where using her meter is good outside of wake ups and stuff like that, and that's this combo that I'm about to show you guys right now. Because Tanya doesn't really get much damage off of her EX moves unless you use it off of the forward 2 down 2 combo. Because honestly, you can get the same amount of damage without using meter, basically. So that's a 40% combo. It involves using the crossover punch, which is the only time you should use it in my opinion, and the EX down forward 3, and then you can do 40%. Now to me, 40% is worth 1 bar of meter. So this is how you should use Tanya's meter in combos, basically. If you're not going to do something like that, then just don't waste the meter. Use it for something else, because meter, obviously, as we know, is very important in this game, and it's something that is a valuable resource. So you don't want to waste your meter going for combos. Now the next thing I'm going to talk about is how to space Tanya's teleport. Again, footsies is very, very important with Tanya, and when you go for her teleport, you want to make it so that you end up over their heads. This is the perfect range of distance that you want to be with the teleport. Now they can't, if you do a raw teleport, they can punish it with a down 2. So the spacing obviously is very important, but if you go for the dragon stance, pole drop, the down 4, you can actually beat out their down 2s. But if they go for a and this is just showing you if you misspace it, you can still get away with it with a down 2. However, a neutral jump 2 will punish you, and that's pretty much wherever you put the teleport. They can punish you with a neutral jump 2. So this is something that this is on reaction. This is not even predicting anything. So that's why raw teleports will get you hurt. However, there is a slight mix-up with this, because if you go for the down 2, it won't work. But if you go for a neutral jump-in punch, they actually cannot punish you with the neutral jump punch. So there is a slight mix-up. Again, here's another mix-up. If you're jumping forward and then going back to drop the pole, they can neutral jump punch you, but they can't down 2 you. So there's some little mix-ups in here with Tanya, because if you go for a neutral jump punch right there, if they try to jump up, they won't be able to hit you. So there's a mix-up with her neutral jump punch versus going for the down pole or just the punch. Now you can prevent all this by jumping back and then teleporting forward. As you can see, they can't hit you, they can't do anything. Now certain characters that have long range neutral jump punches can punish you, so you want to be aware of that. As well as characters like Kano, Kano has a 6 frame up ball, so he can catch you out of it on reaction. And then Sub-Zero is another character. He has a very long range down 2, so he can also catch you. Just like the tip of his sword is what hits you. But against characters who don't have any of those tools, Takeda actually, his neutral jump punch will whip, so you're actually safe against Takeda for doing this. But you don't want to get predictable, because if you do the same thing over and over again, they're going to see that coming, and then they can react to your jump back and then blow you up with a neutral jump punch that way. So instead, what you want to do is mix it up by just going for the raw down 2 off that jump back. So now you're in a perfect position to go for something. You can go for, any of your moves out of this pole stance. You can go for your low, which is the 3, or you can go for your overhead, which is actually safe on block if they do block it. And what you can do from there is you can go for your back 3. You're at a perfect distance to hit the back 3, and then go for your pole stance. So that's what you want to do. But honestly, you don't want to just jump up and do raw teleports, because your opponent can react to them, especially if they're not blocking. So I would advise mixing in some neutral jumps and then checking them with your long range pokes, especially the back 2 if it's safe against the character. Because if they're not blocking because they're expecting you to jump all the time, they're going to be able to react to your teleports and punish you. So doing some empty jumps into your long range pokes is really going to check them and keep them honest, so that allows you to go for your stuff. Another thing you want to be wary of with Tanya is that characters with air-to-air teleports can actually punish you. So that's something that Tanya does not want to deal with. They can just let you do all your shenanigans and then just teleport and hit you. Now Takeda actually, if they miss timing, his teleports will actually whip. But I think Takeda is the only character. Character Scorpion, Ermac, who else? Kung Lao. These are all characters who can hit you. And there's an alternate way to set up on these particular type of characters, which I'll show you guys later. Now, there's another way to safely set up your teleport, and that's going for the frame trap, the down 4, back 1 frame trap. And there, you can go for your down 2 in the mid-air, and they won't be able to react to anything because they're in block stun, and the back 2 is +2 on block. So that's a safe way to set up your teleports without them having to react to your jump-ins or anything like that. Because if you do raw teleports, they're going to be able to see that coming eventually, and they're going to blow you up with a neutral jump punch or an uppercut, depending on the situation. So that's something that you want to keep in mind with Tanya, is you can use her frame trap to safely set up her teleports and then go for your shenanigans from there. So now the next thing I want to go show you guys is some anti-wake-up setups. There's 2 ways to do this. One is the back 3, 4, which the 4 part of the back 3 has 2 hits. 2 quick hits, so it blows up armor, as I mentioned earlier. However, so you want to whiff the back 3. You want to whiff the back 3 and then hit them as the 4 starts up. Now, if you mistime this, you will get blown up and your armor will work. So you want to whiff the back 3 and then let the 4 come out as they're waking up. Now, this doesn't work against characters with multiple hits of armor. So Kung Lao's EX spin is a perfect example of this. I think it has like 3 hits of armor, something ridiculous like that. So he will blow you up with his thing. Even if you time it correctly, you will get punished. Now, a more consistent way to do this is actually do a back teleport. Off of a knockdown, do a down back 3, and you can hit certain characters. You can hit them with a pogo and get a full combo punish, or you can go with your overheads or your lows. And these are all punishes. They can't the character's on auto block, so they can't block any of this stuff. Then I'll show you this against Kung Lao. Now with the overhead, you want to be careful because his EX spin is so active. You can still get hit if you mistime it. And now I'm going to show you this against Scorpion. Again, you can punish Scorpion's EX teleport with a down 2, and then you can get a full combo punish off of that. So they're going to waste a meter, and then they're going to get fully comboed for 30%. So that's really, really good. And what you're doing basically is teaching them don't press buttons on wake up because you're going to get comboed. And this also works against characters who don't have teleports. Now with Sub-Zero, the way his slide works, you won't be able to get a full combo, but you can get into your Dragon Stance shenanigans, or you can just go for on the EX one, you can get your down back 4s or your down forward 4s to connect. So it works against pretty much every character, not just teleport characters, as you can see here. And what you're doing now is basically you're teaching them don't press buttons. And then you can go for your forward 4 mix-ups. So off of the forward 4, there's a low, which is 3, and then there's an overhead, which is 2. Now the low is safe, so you want to go for the low often. And check and condition them, and then hit them with the overhead. Now against characters who you can't use your pogo stance against, what I'm going to show you guys how to set it up so that you can still mix them up as well. So what you want to do is you want to go for her teleport cancel, which is +1. Which is +1. So right there, you can go for the teleport cancel, and you can still block what they're doing. You can also go for the teleport cancel, and you can actually jump over them as well. So her teleport cancel is +1. It's very, very strict timing. It's very difficult to pull off. But what you can do is if they press the wrong button, you can get a full combo then. I'll show you this against Raiden. As you can see, you can block anything he wants to do. You can block his electric fly, and you can jump over his shocker, and you can get full combo punish. So her teleport cancel is what you want to do against characters who have long neutral jump ranges or things like that. You can also just poke them out of what they want to do, as well as if they're not doing an EX move. Obviously, the jump over is much safer. You can also beat them with a down 1. Again, if they're doing an armor move, you don't want to do this because they'll just blow you up. So again, the jump over, the crossover is much safer, and you get a full combo off of that. But you can also poke them. If they don't have any meter, it might be safer to just poke them out of what they're doing. Another thing is if they do block the crossover punch, you can actually go immediately into your 3-4, and then you can poke them out with a down 1. As you can see here, he's trying to go for a shocker, and you can poke him with that. Again, they can blow you up if they have armor, and it works even with the crossover, but it's still a way to, if they're not going to use their armor, they're going to do that. So that's it for this tutorial, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys learned from it. Feel free to leave your comments, suggestions, tech, all that. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'm out of here. Deuces.